Thank you for all the day ones, all the new subscribers, likes, comments, feedback. Man, thank you so much. It's greatly and genuinely appreciated. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Friday? Weather's good. I'm not going to take up too much time on this Friday, man, because I know y'all been working hard. Want to go spend time with the wife and the kids. And uh, this is my little video that I'm doing for today, man. Just getting on here, just saying that y'all seen everything that I have uh, proven so far, and it's time for me to go back into incognito mode for a time being, man. Uh, right now, it's time for me to concentrate on my case. Me being online, it ain't gonna really help my situation, right? I can come on here every now and then, express what I feel, but I think it's best for me and my the outcome of what I want, all right? And I think it's better for me to go silent for the time being, man. All right? I don't want to jeopardize. I don't want to say something, you know, or give these guys any kind of opportunity to have anything, man. I don't want to. Right now, it's just like in a civil accident. The insurance is always trying to find the other person at fault, so to try to minimize the damage. But right now, that guy's at 100% fault, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to be held responsible or liable in my civil case. So for the time being, man, this right now is gonna probably be it's gonna probably be it for the time being, man. Probably for a couple of days, weeks, I don't know, man. But most definitely it's gonna be the end of my lives for a couple of days, uh, and that's just I don't want to give them any kind of ammunition, man. So I already have a sufficient, I guess, evidence to prove negligence, malice, whatever you want to call it, right? So if I'm already got the upper hand, there's no point in me boasting and gloating online. Right? Just wait till the end of the court and we go from there. There's no point in me boasting and gloating. Right? It's the irony of somebody worrying about defaming a deceased person's image, character. I felt like I should have received the same kind of treatment, man. All right, if you're worried about being held liable for defaming a deceased person's name and character, I felt that I was entitled, either me being a public or a private citizen. You should have given me the same investment, due diligence, as you were concerned about being held liable for defaming David Mendenhall. I should have got the same treatment. Right? You should have did your due diligence, so you knowingly, willingly. The 4 key points of a defamation character, are proven by his own actions and statements. So at this point, there's really no point of me of saying, I told you so, over and over and over. The court date's coming around the corner. I need to concentrate on editing these videos to where I can, paint a good, perfect picture of negligence, malice, and what were his true intentions. All right. And it all comes down to trying to normalize the deviancy of one character, right? And it's not like this deviant self-admitted to his deviancy, and then here goes people trying to defame other people's character and name and assassinate their character to normalize his deviancy. Right? You were defaming a dead man's character, portraying him as being an HIV. Right? Nowhere in that documentary has been stated anything about anything HIV. Right? The only thing that was in that document was the HIV wing. Right? But nobody said for sure that Mark Moore was infected. All right, that's just hearsay. She said, man. All right. Nobody's even said that. Not in that documentary. I've never heard anybody for me to say, hey, the only thing that I heard was from Jonathan Swartz when he said a lifetime health care conditions, right? But you even then you can interpret it what healthcare, right? I suffer from mental health, right? I also suffer from other physical conditions. All right, mental health. Once you get mental health, man, it's kind of hard to get rid of it. It's kind of it's gonna stick with you to the end of time, man. You know, sometimes you're able to keep it under control. Sometimes it gets the better of you. But once you suffer from mental health, man, it's kind of for life, right? You can try to control it like a diabetes, you know, with insulin, you know, but it's a condition that's going to be with you for the rest of your life, right? So you can interpret it, you can speculate on what Jonathan Swartz said, long-term health condition, right? Oh, I have like PTSD, major depression with psychotic features. I guess you could say borderline schizophrenic. But all of this is self, you know, when you're on the streets, man, you're always worrying about somebody robbing you. You're worrying about the cops. So even though you're not consuming substances, man, your own brain is producing these dopamines, and you know, they're making you paranoid, man. It's your own mind, it's your own body producing these. All right, so it's crazy, man. But once you can realize and you can kind of not treat it, man, but yeah, I have to take meds, right? I have to take meds, right? But I don't take them. I don't take them because they make me into a zombie, right? Somebody, I don't want to. I'm already low of energy, and medications like that just turn you into a zombie, man, a drooling zombie, right? It's like if I already know I have issues, shit, any kind of other medication is gonna give me more issues, man. So I just deal with it. Mine's more of a PTSD, fight or flight. I might get cornered into the corner, but I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna fight myself out of that corner. But it's just the way life is, man. You know, people got physical scars. Others have emotional scars. Mine are emotional scars, but self-inflicted from, you know, choosing to be a lawbreaker. But you know, it's that saying, man. We at one time or another, we were all young, and we lacked knowledge. Right? We lacked guidance, immaturity, a lot of things, right? I mean, at a young age, we were just experiencing the world. Now, shit. Now, if I was a 50-year-old gang-banging gang member, I'd be damn. You know, I'd be kind of ashamed of myself being of age, still acting and dealing in childish games. Because to me, gangs is kind of a. I joined the neighborhood gang, right? VNS 13, North Haven Park, right? Basically, it's a split off of the VNS 13, Barrio Northside, right? I grew up in. I wore Cortezes, I wore Dickies, I wore Chucks. I was into the gang culture at a young age, man. The neighborhood, right? The neighborhood. Uh, then started getting older, right? I started seeing the chicks were gravitating to the dudes that were dressing more in polo, more in Nike, uh, more starched up, right? They weren't really paying attention to the dudes that were wearing Dickies and stuff, right? They were more into what they called the love field players, right? Guys that wore polo boots, Timberlands, Air Maxes, creased up Levi's, polos, Tommy Hilfiger. It was two different. It was night and day. All right, so, but in order to be able to buy Air Maxes and polo boots and name brand clothing, you got to get money. All right, maybe some of these kids, their families were fortunate to be able to, dress them in designer clothing and name brand clothing. All right. Others, had to pillage, rob, or sell, become a street pharmacist. One of the two. One of the three options, man. For a man in a city, regardless in whatever city you want to live in, man. Whatever city, it's all the same for a man. All right, it's either you either going to become a dope fiend or an alcoholic, a thief and a robber, jack boy, or you're going to become a street pharmaceutical, man. It's man. We're limited if we want to be criminals. It's not too much of a sophistication for us, right? It's like most of us that chose crime are not really educated, so we really can't go do all that white collar crimes, right? We can't go. We don't really know how to do fraud or hot wire or any kind of this cybering shit that's going on nowadays, right? So we're limited to what we can do. Under federal law, it's legal for any person who is unlawful use or addicted to any control, including marijuana. Under law, it's illegal. Yeah, I don't know, man, but that's why if you're a gun owner, man, you have to be responsible, man. Right? It's not nowadays. It's not. You don't have to worry about the people that are able, right? That are not able to get guns, man. Because I myself don't use guns for no bad intentions, right? Guns are meant for, hunting or self-protection. Those are the only things, firearms should be used for. All right. But other people, even people that have no criminal records, man, are dangerous people. Anybody, man. All right. It's not the firearm. It's the person who has the firearm. Look at all these people, man, that have no criminal records, and they're the ones doing the most heinous, horrific crimes on TV. A lot of these people, man, that have no criminal record are involved in all these mass situations, right? Where a lot of people are being mass evacuated, leaving destruction and demise, and they've never had a criminal record. So it's not about the gun. It's basically the people who handle it, man. Right? Perfect example, man. Me, I've had bad experiences with weapons, so I don't play with them. I don't show them off. I you know, they're there for what the purpose is needed, man, right? And like I said, I don't have any enemies, man, right? To where I have to be on the lookout. Nah, man, right? I don't have to do that. Right? I'm a law-abiding citizen. That Grand Prairie Police Department is always parked uh, a few radius miles away from my spot, right? So they're in the radius, right? They're in a small radius, and I'm in that radius where they're always at, right? Maybe you could say I live in a high crime area, right? Who knows, right? Read the statistics. Uh, don't let me tell you I live in a Highland Park or a gated community with homeowners association, right? That's far from it, right? So maybe that's why there's always law enforcement all around the area, right? Where you least expect it, they're hidden and parked, right? I know where they park and hit and hide at, right? But somebody that doesn't, they're just waiting to get themselves in a jam, right? So after this video, man, I'm gonna go MIA for a little bit, incognito. There's what else is there for me to say? No, I'm still gonna, I'm not leaving yet, man. Right, I'm finishing my cup of coffee. Once I finish my cup of coffee, man, that's it, man. I can't risk jeopardizing, you know, a good case that I got. Right. I don't know, man. You know, sometimes I just feel like not talking about it, but then I just but I'm like, man, as long as I don't defame or slander or do any kind of terroristic threats, I think I should be all right. Right. I kind of watch my mouth and what I say. I'm not too disrespectful. But I want to get over this so bad, man, because, you know, I got Bobby on hold, man. I don't want. It's not fair to Bobby, man. And, I think once Bobby comes on, man, I think it'll be a great insight, man. Where the good some good Texas history, man, and I reached out to some other some of my Aztecas, man, that are in the comments. And some other famas that, you know, I don't know, you know, their policies or not, or what they can and can't say, but I'm pretty sure, you know, they can speak on their story. You know, they don't. I don't know, right? I at the end of the day, man, I don't want to get nobody in trouble. That's why, like Bobby, he's an ex, right? He's an ex, but he dropped out, man, because he wasn't living, you know, he wasn't feeling on how the New Texas Syndicate was moving, right? It left. He felt that it lost its purpose, right? When the new generation came, he felt that it lost his purpose, and he no longer believed in what they were starting to believe in. So he kind of stepped back, right? So not only did he step back, but he became a thorn. You know, he started renouncing them. You know, he speaks now Christianity. So that's why I want to spread Bobby's word, right? Because he's not just a dropout, man. He dropped out for good reasons, right? He dropped out. He didn't believe in what they were doing now, and you know, he was there from the beginning. If not, he was one of the youngest members to get recruited at the time. I think he was 21 when he got recruited, when he got accepted, and It's not like a lot of these other organizations where they have to tell or debrief. It's different in Texas, man. Right? In Texas, man, I don't know how it works, right? But to me, a lot of the dudes that I've met that dropped out, they just dropped out, man. Yes, yes, do they know that if somebody catches them on the streets and they felt like they need to get yes, right? They know that, right? They know that, right? But at the same time, they're not in fear of it, right? Because it's like you can only respect the man, man. As long as the dude just dropped out, he don't want to rock with it no more, and he didn't tell on nobody, and he wants to do his life and live for Christ, and but then you have no choice but to let the man be himself, man. Right? You might not like it, but I prefer him to be a Christian and hold all those secrets that he knows and take him to the grave, instead of being out here indulging and you know, might spill the beans to somebody wrong, and you know, everybody gets in trouble. All right. But if he's doing the right thing, you know, working and providing, and you know, he wants to choose the Christian life, and I don't see no consequences, man. It's, to me, it's kind of different, man. I don't you know, maybe I'm not too educated into how the policies and the organizations work, but like the ones I've talked to that, you know, they're kind of ex-members, man. They're just got tired of it, man, and they just decided, hey, it's no longer right. We don't want to be part of it, and they accept their fate. They know that if, you know, somebody was ever to run in them, they might be in danger, right? So some of them move out of state, you know, some stay in the same state but other cities, and they're just no longer involved, man. All right. So and that's why I decided to, you know, reach out to somebody like Robert Delgado, because you know, he's lived that life, man. And it's sad to say that he's still, in 2025, he's still incarcerated. So he's seeing the ups and downs, the power switching, you know, from the families being on top to now just a prison gang, right? Or just a street gang, or being on top. No leadership, right? Because you can have dudes with big old dongle blast tattoos on them, and they won't seg them, right? They won't seg them. But if a prison organization or a prison family member comes in with a big old tattoo of a prison family, that's automatically a reason to have him segged and put him in administrative segregation for his time. So, you know, Bobby has been there, man, to see the fluctuation, how things have changed, you know, and now he's saying that, you know, it seems like they're doing a group punishment now. So if somebody gets in trouble, everybody gets in trouble. So if somebody gets caught on contraband in that dorm, well, then everybody goes on lockdown on that dorm, instead of just holding that one person responsible and taking that person to lockup and letting the rest of the dorm be. But he's saying now they got some kind of collective punishment going on in TDC, that everybody's getting in trouble, right? And like how he says, you know, how is it that, you know, I guess the parole, somebody that was in the parole hearing, that's on the parole hearings at that unit, just got caught for smuggling in drugs, right? So, you know, he got a lot of good stories that he wants to be talking, man, right now, and I've been putting on the burner because of all this, man. Right? And hopefully, once I close this chapter of my life, which it's gonna get closed, man. You know, once I get my case over with, man, I'm through with it, man. All right. I'll be literally be through with it, right? Because by then it should be proven, right, that everything this piece of shit dude said about me was 99.9 lies, right? So we're gonna have to. We can't base the outcome off of views and clicks, right? To me, the outcome is going to be whatever that court says and whatever the relief I get, right? Whatever form of relief I get, and to me, it was never about, trying to sue this dude for any kind of monetary gain. He can play these videos over and over where my demand was just a simple apology, clean up the mess, clean up the mess. But instead, he doubled down on the defamation of character, right? When he felt that I was showing him empathy and sympathy, he must have felt that I have a kid with a minor, right? And once again, I do not have a kid with a minor, right? My first baby mama was already either 22 or 23. My second baby mama was 26, 27, or 28, right? So it's not, all this is proven by not just me saying it, right? All this is proved by birth certificates and documents and anything, right? So he can go on there and feel, I feel he had a kid with a minor. What made you think that he had a kid with a minor, right? Where did you come up with these scenarios, right? It wasn't sufficient that you had to go pull Francisco Martinez's paperwork and try to parade them and pass them off like they were my criminal convictions, right? Like I said, I'm not an angel, man. I've defamed my own character, right, by my own doings, right? That hence my own criminal record, right? That's me defaming my own character. I don't need nobody else slandering me. I think I've done enough damage myself, right? I've done enough damage to my own character, right? At this late in age, the only thing I can do is try to make amends, be a contributing member of society, and right my wrongs, right? As being at one time lawbreaker to now being a contributing member of society, right? Have I had any hiccups? Yes, right? Who does it, right? It's just like an alcoholic or somebody that struggles with substance abuse, right? When they want to go cold turkey, man, they're going to struggle, man. It's going to be a journey, right? But it's what defines you is where you're at in place in life right now, right? It's not where you've been at, it's where you're at in life. That's what should defy you, right? Because believe me, man, there's a lot of stories on YouTube, man, where people have been the worst of the worst, man, and now they're a success story, man. A perfect example would have been David Mendenhall. No, a perfect example is Brad Lucas. But I'm kind of iffy on Brad Lucas, right? Because if you were once in a position of vulnerability and being a victim, and now you're in the position of being the insuperior, who's to say that? I don't know, man. To me, there's a lot of possibilities, man. Right? There's a lot of questions that need answer. Right? And the reason I said questions that need to be answered, because when the mayor said that, hey, yeah, Brad Lucas is currently a deputy. These are questions that I would like to know the answers to, right? And this is not me making stuff up. This is the mayor, Frank Lucas, telling me, yes, Brad Lucas is currently a deputy. Right? So you can take a deputy to, is he a deputy, a bailiff, a deputy in jail? Is he a deputy that patrols the city? What is he? Right? How did he become a deputy? Right? How? Regardless, he did 4 years in Limestone Prison. Right? He did 4 years. His conviction was for simple petty theft. Petty theft of vandalizing newspaper machine, which I think in title they cost about $200-300 worth of damage, causing it to be, I guess, a felony, man. Sent him off sent them off to prison for something, you know, down here it'd be like destruction of property, you know, misdemeanor. It wouldn't be no, you know, theft, and out of that, you know, it would have been a destruction of property and then, you know, restitution fee for the price of the vending machine, and but it wouldn't have cost him no 4 years in prison. But either way, he did 4 years in prison. Right? He came out, small town secrets. All right. If your family's already in, we don't know his father's role. Right. We don't know if Frank Lucas is his cousin from his father's side. Right. We don't know. There's a lot of things, man. But hey, what I'm doing, I'm getting answers. Right? And when I have them, I'm gonna bring them to y'all. All right? But I'm not gonna tell y'all, like I did last time. No, man. When it happens, it happens. All right? Let you know that I'm in the background. You know, calling people, reaching out. I got a few leads. I've talked to people. I've planted a couple of seeds, and I'm gonna reach out to them in the near future again, right? Be like, hey, how's it going? You know, just touching base again, seeing asking some more questions and hopefully get some answers to them. And that's all, man. You know, it's called basic fact checking, novelist journalism. You know, when you want to know the in and outs of the story, you know, you try your best. Just like you said, you were going to do all your precautions on trying not to defame a deceased man. You were worried and you published that you willingly, intentionally understood what you were doing. All right, because here, the videos that I posted the other day, it publicly shows that defamation of character is a mother. Defamation of character is a mother. All right. Famous quotes from a great giant content creator. But that ain't the only one, right? Don't forget the who cares what the black man did to the white man in prison. Famous quotes, man, of pure defamation, racist, dangerous behavior on YouTube's platform. The first thing YouTube tells you when you reach out to them is, hey, we want you to be feeling safe. Well, you know what, YouTube? I stopped feeling safe once I came across Dante Lamar Bell. I stopped feeling safe on your platform. If you're listening, YouTube, all this dangerous behavior on your platform has caused me extreme emotional distress. Not only that, but my condition, man. Right? I suffer from ankylosing spondylitis. It's called an autoimmune disease, right? I suffer from fibromyalgia, right? All these conditions the doctor tells you stress is bad for these conditions, right? Stress inflames your body more, right? It produces, if you're stressing, it produces more inflammation genes into your body. So it's like, they tell you, don't stress, right? Stress is bad for your condition. So not only has my health, physical health deteriorate, right? So has my mental health. I feel unstable, man, right? It took me so much time to be able to pull my laptop out, man, right? It's almost like trauma, PTSD, man, right? I seen that laptop and the Rodecaster and the headphones and the microphone, and I'm like, man, last time I touched that I got in trouble, man. Right? All these people started doxing me, started making false statements, defaming my character. So it's trauma, man, right? Especially for somebody like myself that suffers from mental health issues, right? The severity uh, multiplies with me, right? And it's not like I've never made it aware to you, so it's not like you were picking on and defaming a mental unstable person, right? And then you got to go back and be like, hey, why were you defaming this man, cyberbullying him? Why? Oh man, because he was reacting and making videos about Mark Moore, and I'm just trying to normalize this shit. Right? I'm just trying to normalize the deviancy of one man, and I threw everything in the kitchen sink I could. Right? I threw everything that I could at him. Every single bully tactic, other than physically touching me, he deployed. Right? I wasn't surprised if he got over there, one of them voodoo dolls, right? Got a little voodoo doll with the little Texas Ranger jersey on, little Texas Ranger hat on, and just poking at me. Ha, ha, ha. All right. Trying everything, spiritual, everything, man. Deploying every single kind of tactic there is to try to silence people. Silence. But you know what, man? The more I think about just being quiet, I said, nah, man. The more I need to be on here on a daily basis, at least once a day, man. All right, once a day, 30-hour-minute video. Like I said, most of the time, man, I'm in a compromised situation. And what I mean a compromised situation, man, I'm laying down, I'm relaxing. And it's not for everybody to see me in a compromised situation. Right? But yeah, man, I mean, to me, I don't understand the boldness of some people, man. Like, people thinking that they're bigger than the program. I've never wanted to be the rim, man. I'm happy just being a spoke on that rim. All right, I'm happy. I'm not asking to be the whole rim. I'm just asking to be a spoke out of one of them 100-spoke dames, right? Play my role, man. Right? I've never, how can you say? I've never dreamed of being a leader of anything, man, or superior, or anything like that, man. I've never coveted any kind of position like that. Right? I've never coveted leadership, right? Never, man. It's not something I want or I dream or of being, in the corporate world, you would consider it like maybe manager, vice president, somewhere in the corporate ladder, right? When you start getting paid salary and instead of getting paid by the hourly, right? I've never had intentions, man, of being on the top. I've always been happy but people that want to be something that they're not meant to be, man. I'm not, man. I'm not a leader, man. I'm just me. right? But I'm real. I don't follow too many people, man, but I will follow certain people, right? I'm not a follower. I'm not a follower, but I will follow the right one. Right? I'll get in place. Right? I know my place. Right? And sometimes, if you know your place, you're actually more valuable than the people that are in top. Right? If you know your place and you work your place, and you know, sometimes you're more valuable than the person on the top, man. Right? You can be a worker, overexceeder, and you're a keeper, man. Right? Even through your manager, he might despise you and like you, but his boss likes you. Right? He understands that the manager might not like you because he might be intimidated of you. Right? But I've never wanted to be a leader, man. I've seen in politics, you know, how people try to campaign for positions. That's how it is in prison, man. Like, I'm gonna put it to you like this: when the CIA left, right? The CIA is the spokesperson, right? Every block, well, back then every block had a spokesperson, right? On who spoke for that block, but there was one main one, right? And everybody would vote for him, right? Everybody would vote to see if he was going to be the CR or not, right? And then when the CR left, the three guys that wanted to be the CS, they were going around all the little with their followers and telling every homeboys why they felt they should be the next CR, right? I got this much time. I've been here. I've been locked down this. Woo, woo, woo. I've done this. You know, almost like a political campaign out here in the free world. If you know, you can put the comparisons of both, right? And I'm like, man, these guys are really running for office, right? So I understand why a lot of ex-convicts, you know, gravitate to politics, right? Because I see that perfect example on how politics are, you know, administered in prison, right? It was almost like the campaign of, you know, kissing the baby on the cheek, right? Because like I said, man, we're all one, but in different unit, different blocks. It's what that block goes, man. Right? So I seen, and that's why I'm like, man, you know, I understand why a lot of convicts like politics, man, right? And like I said, I didn't do too much time, man. So I might be lacking a lot of knowledge of a lot of stuff about prison politics and topics. And that's why I don't speak no more than what I've experienced myself, right? I can't speak about on other stuff that I'm not educated, man, right? Somebody that did 15 years compared to, you know, my year or 2 years, of course they're going to be more knowledgeable of the prison system, man. Right? I can just tell you my experience, right? My experience was only about a year and a half. It's not like I can really dissect it. No, man. That's why I really don't speak too much about prison politics other than my story, right? And I already did those videos in the beginning, right? And I think those videos are still up, right? So me being a short time, that's why you can see the list of my videos are only a handful of videos, right? Of prison, my experience, right? Because how much can I experience in such a short term span of period, right? I'd be fucking lying, and I'm not a liar, man, right? Did I see stuff? Did I witness stuff? Did I do stuff? Yes, right? But like I said, man, I was more blessed to see the money side, right? On how they were coming in, uh, how they were getting distributed, what was the cost on the street, uh, how much was the, you know, everybody involved getting, if there was a certain number getting, after everybody got paid, what was going to come to us, right? Because everybody got to get a taste of it, from the person that's picking it up, from the person that breaks it down and brings it into the building. So everybody got to get paid before you do, right? That's just the way it goes. Right? So I was blessed to see the inner workings, right? It to where, you know, to this day, man, if people wanted to, man, it's open season for everybody there. It's open season for, oh, Grim. Man, so many people, right? It's like, sometimes you just gotta go along, up and smoke. Sometimes you gotta play like the dumbest and just go along, man, and just let them feel like you're going along with it, man, right? And they can entrap you and, you know, play you like a violin, right? Then they'll have you dancing to their tune. But if you're able to dissect it and, you know, always be on point, man, like I said, man, most of the time I'm right, man, and when I'm wrong, I'd rather be wrong because I could have been right, man, right? It is what it is. Yeah, man, it's just too much, man. It's like people think that they're like thinking in the brain and they can manipulate, and I'm like, man, I can manipulate, but you haven't. To be honest, I'm gonna tell you how much effort I put into it, man, because I live my life, man. The effort that I put into it is when I do these lives. That's how much effort I put into it, right? I might make a few phone calls here and there, but this ain't my life, man. When you see me doing these lives, that's the only time I'm interested in it, man. As soon as I end this life, it's back to Noel. It's back to Babe. It's back to Daddy, right? Here, I'm a thief, junkie, every name in the book, all right? So, if I can keep if I can keep at a distance, man, and you see, that's the thing about being able to isolate yourself, man. If you can isolate yourself, fuck, man, right? It's not, a lot of people can't deal with isolation and their own thoughts and their own, hearing their own breathing, right? They go crazy, man. Me, it's the time for me to think. I'm not really by myself, right? Because I have a soul, right? And then that soul is my inner thoughts, I feel, right? That's my soul talking to me. So when I'm talking to myself, I'm just talking to my soul. Some people might say, oh, you're just fucking crazy. Nah, man, I overdosed, right? I seen my soul from a third party point of view, man. All right, so if I can see my soul up in the air and I can see my body, and then the only thing, and then we're one. So the only thing I can think about is that my inner voice is my soul. All right. Well, you got to experience it, man, to come to these kind of conclusions, right? Because I might be sounding like a crazy delusional, saying, hey, this dude needs to take his meds, man. All right. But you know, you people, I'm not telling you to go experience it, man, because you know it's not it's not a fun experience, man, coming back, coming back to reality, man. Right? And it's almost traveling in a black tunnel with high speed velocity, man. Like all you hear is like turbo jets, right? A few feet. It felt I was traveling, I guess, Buzz Lightyears, right? From just where my body was in the corner of the room to the chair, a few feet away, right? But it felt that when my body was coming back, it was traveling through light. All I could hear was like turbines, wind, velocity, just at a high speed, like, when them jets pass you, or the big engine. So you have to experience it, man, right? You have to go through something through life to make you understand, or even make you question things, right? So that's why, man, I'm not really that hateful, man, because I don't push out hate into the world, man. I don't wish Mark, man, I've not, and to this day, man, my intentions were never to get the dude locked up, man. I never said it from day one, right? Go watch my old videos. I said, man, hey, my intention is not to get this dude locked up, right? That's not my goal, right? I'm just gonna be here, till he finally gets remorseful in this and holds himself accountable, and then and maybe then, man, I'll get off his ass, all right? Maybe then I'll get off his ass, but that's their fault, man, right? Coming on YouTube portraying somebody they're not. That's the only thing I can come down to the conclusion, right? Nobody would be calling the other deadbeat dad a bum, right? He don't live in no mansion. He don't. I got some bad news for y'all. I got some bad news, man. Next door house, bids had already been placed. The bids were closed, and right now they're just going over the bids, right? So that house, I had dreams of making an Airbnb, uplifting the community on that street, bringing value and substance. It could have been a beautiful thing, man, to the community of that. So I called him today, man, thinking that I could, see how much the bank wanted. They're like, oh no, the loads are already in, have already been bid, bids have already been accepted, and the auction is now closed. So hopefully, maybe nobody bid on it, man. Right? Maybe nobody bid on it. Right? But she said bids had been placed, and they were just going them and reviewing them. So I don't know, man. I just got to start looking around that opportunity, and maybe there'll be another Mexican family on that community soon. I don't know, right? There's just a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff on how I want to go about it respectfully, and not, like I said, man, my intentions down here are not to break any kind of a criminal or any kind of civil law. I do respect the legal system. I am not. They done proven to me many times that I am not bigger than the system, and they have humbled me plenty of times to where I respect the legal system, right? I know the legal system can take my money away, and they can take my freedom away. So I don't respect too many higher authorities, but the legal system, I do. Right? So as you can say, Charleston White, I'm a Mexican, so you can say, hey, the Mexicans feel the same way, man. I respect the law, man. I'm not gonna break the law. Right? I'm not gonna disrespect the law. I'm not gonna break the law, man. Right? Maybe when I was young and ignorant and immature, piece of shit, whatever you want to call me, man. Right? I didn't know better. But now that I know better, I try to break the cycle with my kid, man. Right? I want him to be not a contributing member of society in his late 20s or 30s or 40s. No, man, I want him to be a contributing member now. Now, right? I have to break the cycle on what I want to create, man. Right? It's an investment, man. Right? I was blessed, just like everybody else that's from this country, man, with the proper education, uh, the opportunity to advance my education if I chose to, right? How? Well, here they give you Pell Grants, they give you grants to continue your education, man, either in a trade, a university, a community college, uh, whatever it is that you decide, man, to continue your education, man. All right. Don't get me wrong. It's never too late to get educated or knowledge, right? Never. No one's never too old for knowledge, right? But me, honestly, with my medical conditions, my physical, my mental health, uh, I don't see it fit investing anything in myself. Well, I have a plain canvas with my son, right? I have a fresh start, a plain canvas, right? With mine, I would have to go to the canvas, erase, paint over, to try to get somewhat of a decent picture, right? But with my 7-year-old son, I have a clean canvas, man, right? To break the cycle, to show him things that, I wish I would have done, right? Graduate high school, gone to prom, homecoming, shit like that, right? Participating in sporting events, even in the motherfucking band, right? Even anything pertaining to be a contributing member of society. I wish I would have did it, man, right? But it's not late for me, right? But I have somebody that has a plain canvas, man. Yeah, man, but that's the thing, man. That when you decide to publish it at third parties, like factuals, it doesn't matter who told you. Uh, Especially when you're acknowledging you're well versed in on the defamation, right? Because you didn't want to take the precautions. You took the precautions on so-called crossing your T's and dotting your I's on the David Mendenhall, but all right, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of it doesn't matter, man. Whoever you know told him it was his responsibility as a content creator to do his due diligence, right? Before he decided to republish it on a third party, which was on YouTube, and deleted it. That's his responsibility, man, right? It's not my fault. He had every, it got to the point where so many scenarios were painted to where now it's beyond a simple apology, man, right? It's beyond that, man, because now I can prove everything he said, right? And we're going to Google and YouTube, man, all right? Almost like the Roblox. That's what I'm gonna shoot for, like the Roblox. Lawsuit, dangerous behavior, because the automated process that they got going on, it's not really cutting it out, man. It's hurting people. People are losing their lives. They're letting these wars go on without being regulated or checked. Look at the outcome of Manny and Fanny, Sin City Manny and Finney the Legend. If YouTube would have been monitoring this behavior, they could have easily prevented this from happening, right? They could have easily been, man, both platforms are engaging in dangerous behavior, right? Both of them. So both of the channels should have been terminated, man, if YouTube had something in place to prevent it, right? But since YouTube has nothing in place to prevent it, and content creators have found loopholes to where they can't be held liable by YouTube because they delete the videos, right? And YouTube, once the video is deleted, they want you to go through the legal system, right? The only play you're gonna get from YouTube is actually if you sue YouTube for, X, Y, or Z, right? And then once the attorneys from Google and YouTube verify X, Y, and Z, and you can prove it, because they're gonna ask you, okay, show us the proof, right? You got a verdict, you got a judgment, right? I don't know, right? I might just, depending on how I feel, I don't know, man, right? Thank you, Outlaw. Thank you, appreciate that. Appreciate that, thank you. Because I'm not a, how can you say, man, I'm not a, I gave him every opportunity, man. And the reason, and he knows if he's listening, right? That I told him, I said, look, check it out, man. I don't eat off social media, right? I know you do, and I know you feed your kids off of social media, right? You feed your kids off of social media, man, right? So I'm not a piece of shit that I'm gonna expect the kid to pay the consequences of the father, right? At the end of the day, man, that's how you feed them. I don't want to be a piece of shit and you take and me be a reason your kids go without, right? And I guess, he took the kindness for weakness, man, and went on and said, oh, this dude must have a baby mama with a minor, right? I'm trying to show empathy and pity and be like, look, man, everything you've done, you're gonna lose, right? All I'm asking is for you to go make a video, leave it up, clean it up. I don't know which way you want to do it, clean it up. I'm not gonna help you. I'm not gonna go and make any kind of videos with you. You are going to have to clean it up, right? And what did he do? No, you're cool, Leopard. What did he do? All right. How many times has this parasite apologized, right? He went to the extent of changing his number that he would use for promotions and whatnot, right? A business number, right? I know if I used every time that I had a business number, man, in my line of field, and I lost that number, it hurt my numbers, man. Right? Because that's the promotions phone, man. That's the number that everybody would know, right? But what would happen, right? I got robbed from one phone, so hey, I lost money on that phone. So whoever was calling me from that phone, they kept that number, and everybody was calling in that number, right? Back in the day, all you had to do was have the number from Metro PCS, right? You didn't even have to give them an ID back in the day, right? It could have been a random number, and they would have, hey, come on, give us the money and give us the phone, right? All you needed back then was just the number, and you go in there and you pay the monthly bill, and they didn't care who it was. Right now they ask for ID and all this. But back then, when it first came out, it was simple. Just come in here with the cash, we don't care. I was a prepaid phone. So you even disconnected the promotion phone that where people would call you, hey, I'm gonna pay you $50 bucks to promote my videos on my business on your platform. And so a business phone, man, like where everybody would reach out and do business with you, and you decided to let it go, and because it didn't fit the narrative, right? Oh, I gotta delete it because Noel got screenshots of me apologizing. All right. So you had to go back and say, oh man, all that was fake. All right. So I photoshopped all those text messages. All those text messages, all those emails are in the file case. All right. If you want to populate the file case, it's going to be like $25. All right. There's about 80 to 100 pages of nothing but emails, text messages, calling me this, calling me that. All right. And it's from your phones, all right? Yeah, he did it. He did it. Leopard, the only thing he had going for himself was really nothing, all right? Because manipulation of a legal document, if you were an attorney, it would have been malpractice. But since you're a private or a public citizen, it's called defamation of another public or private citizen's character, which you're liable, all right? Full responsibility, man. And we're past, right? Because now I want a verdict judgment, man. Whatever I get, right? Apology video is a reasonable thing, right? Money, I don't know if I can prove the analytics that, I was making money for that period of time when I came out, and then it all stopped once the defamation began, right? So, does it show loss? Yes, right? The analytics show, right? It shows when you started, and well, that's what happens, right? When somebody defames when somebody puts a comment on social media and says, hey, don't go eat there. They're serving dog food as human food, all right? And you ruin that restaurant's reputation, right? And that restaurant was, revenue in 10,000, 5,000 on a weekly, and now they're barely making ends meet, right? Because of social media comments. There's consequences. You see, not only did you say it once, not only did you say it twice, you said it for hours and hours at a time. Each time that you said, you called me a pedophile, a Chester, that in itself is a case, right? Each time that you said, it's a case, right? That's what you don't understand, right? After this one, I can pick up another one on you and just continue picking them up on different dates, right? That's what you don't understand, that I'm just getting started with you, right? Every time you said something stupid, a false statement, it's like a charge, right? The more you said it, wasn't going to make it more believable. It's like you left the trail, right? You left the trail of cookie crumbs. On this day, you left a big trail of cookie crumbs, right? On this day, you were on this other channel. How can I prove it? I got messages, right? And on those messages, time stamped, date stamped, right? Hour and date. So it's numerous instances, numerous occasions. It's not just a one and done, right? So there is up to a year, 2 years of statute of limitation. Right? So this year, how many times have you defamed my character, man? On multiple instances, right? Not just one, multiple. So the severity, if you would have said it one and done, the judge would probably be like, man, it wasn't that serious. But since you did it for 10-hour live, multiple occasions, it felt like the more you said it, the more you wanted to be, like Cinderella. You started tapping your feet and you wanted to be right. That's the thing, man. I was raised by a man, and my pops always told me, man, don't put it out unless you're really gonna use it, man. Right? And that's anything. That's either a stick, a rock, a bottle, anything, man. All right? Don't pull nothing out if you're not gonna use it. All right? But if you have to, pick up a rock, pick up a stick, anything. Right? I was raised that way, man. Right? But just because I was raised that way doesn't mean I'm gonna tell and I'm gonna encourage my son to do that. Right? I don't want him to be confrontational or a violent person. Right? Even for a 7-year-old, man, he's already my size. Right? He's already about 100 pounds. He's already up to my chest, right? And he's only 7. So he's gonna be a big dude, man. Right? He's gonna be a big-sized kid. Right? He's 7 years old, and he's not fat, man. Right? He's just tall and eats good. Right? He's healthy. He ain't, he's tall, man. He's already like 4'7". He's big, man, for a 7-year-old. He's a big kid. So I had to act that way, man, because I was little, man. Right? My dad felt he knew that being little, I was going to face more challenges, more, people are going to feel like they were going to be able to bully me and whatnot, right? So he was just preparing me, man, right? Making me realize that, hey, that, even though they're bigger than you or whatnot, man, pick up something and hit them across the head with it, right? So, thank you, Leopard. Oh, I did. But you also got to understand that when I sent them the cease and desist, he was making a mockery. He made a video on that 10-hour live, and he was making a mockery of it, right? Like a cease and desist has no value, and it means nothing, right? But a cease and desist is a document that initiates the process before we get to this point that we're at. So if he wasn't taking the document that was to initiate the process before we're here, well, then that's his fault, right? And then to make a video out of that and mockery, the judges are not going to be that happy, man, right? Because the judge is going to be like, you're taking up my time, buddy, right? If you would have just listened and not think that you're bigger than the law and cease and desist, we wouldn't be here, right? And the relief I asked, right? Hey, make an apology video, clean it up, right? You refused to acknowledge it, right? You acknowledged it, but you made a mockery out of it. And that's not my fault, man. That's something like how you wanted me to explain to hit the link. Well, you're going to have to explain to the honorable judge, right? Not me, man, right? You're going to have to explain to the honorable judge. Not me. I'm just going to be listening, right? I'm just there. I'm just the one physically there. But you're defending against your own actions, man. So good luck, right? Good luck on trying to defend yourself, man, right? Against your own actions, right? Because I've only spoken 3 things about you, right? 3 things, right? 1, that you support a known, self-admitted male rapist. That's 1, right? Second, that you are a racist. Right? You doubled down on that comment, on that statement, and you gave your reasoning onto why you were a racist. And okay, do I agree with you? No, right? But I have to respect on how you identify yourself, right? You identify yourself as a self-proclaimed racist, and that is your right, right? Just like everybody else that identifies like a furry, right? I might not like it, I might not agree with it, but that is your right, right? The other one, that you're a person that defames people's characters, slanders, makes false statements upon people, cyberbullying, racist behavior, violated all the community guidelines off of YouTube, based off your conviction of not being a proper role model or a father. You were facing prison time for not paying child support, and based off of that, I formulated my opinion that you're a deadbeat father, because anybody that gets taken to jail for not being a provider for their seed, and anybody else is, a delinquent, a deadbeat, a horrible father, neglectful. So everything that I've said have been formulated opinions based off true statements, true actions, and most of these you double down on your own, right? And you say, well, how do you say he's supporting it and defending, right? Well, there's per instance that him and Mark are making more money, right? There's instance of him saying, let me see what else. The defamation, right? The seriousness and to the extent of one's defamation of character, right? To where he's liable for it, right? And at the hands of what? Because he wanted to hold Mark more accountable, right? He didn't want no Mexican from Texas, right? He wanted the Mexican in Texas to stay in Texas and worry about Texas problems, right? He didn't want me to be worrying about what happens worldwide to every black, white, purple, pink. This happens to a lot, man. It's not just isolated, but in Alabama, it's said to say that, majority of the dudes are white guys, right? And that's just the statistics, right? There's really no Mexicans over there, right? There's really no, maybe there's some Salvadoranians who are over there, but there's really no Mexicans, right? Maybe one or two. Yeah, that's how I want to know how he's gonna, because he has no argument, man. No, not one. So if once again, I have no HIV, I have no hepatitis C, I don't sleep with streetwalkers, but he needs to bring in Sabrina, right? Isn't that her name? Sabrina. Isn't that her name? Sabrina reached out to you and told you we would always fight because I was a junkie. I caught she would have to drag me out the hotel room, right? Isn't that what you said? That she would have to that she would show up with the kids and drag me out the hotel room. Sabrina, right? But that's Sabrina, right? That's the minor. Isn't that the so-called minor? Right? So bring the minor in, all right? You have the smoking gun, right? The only thing that's gonna win your case is that if you bring Sabrina, man. She's the smoking gun. She's the one that's gonna, put me in my place, right? Like she told you. She's gonna put me in my place. So, don't forget the smoking gun. Sabrina. And you remember, she knows me since I was a teenager. You're gonna need Sabrina. Right. Sabrina. Right. He's gonna need Sabrina to come and disclose how old she was. How old is she now, man? All this information you should have, recorded or find Sabrina. Because Sabrina's gonna be the smoking gun for you. Right? Sabrina, what is she? A minor baby mama? Well, then, that's sufficient, man. Hey, you're gonna trump. That evidence trumps everything you've done, man. Don't forget Sabrina, and tell her to bring my 2 kids, man. I haven't seen my 2 kids. I haven't seen my 2 kids, man. All right. How many kids do me and Sabrina have? All right. This imaginary Sabrina. All right. But I done gave you your play. Right? The only way you're going to win is that if I have a kid with a minor, man. So don't forget Sabrina, right? Because I'm going to bring all my documents, all right, and birth certificates and court documents that shows that who's the mother and who's the kid and who's the father, right? Who's fighting for whose rights and who's what, right? So I'm not just bringing up somebody's name, and there's legal court documents, right? That said, hey, this is so and so, and this is the mother of the kids, right? And Sabrina's not her name, right? But maybe I don't know, man. I've just known her since she was a teenager and I was a teenager. Maybe the middle name she told me, maybe she was really meant to tell me Sabrina, right? Because Sabrina is not even her first name. It's not even her middle name, and it's not even a nickname, right? So, but you need Sabrina, man. Bring in my minor, underage baby mama that I need to apologize, right? Bring her for I can apologize, for you can get what you want, for I can give you what you want, right? I'm gonna give it to you, right? You want me to apologize to her? Well, it's gonna be your responsibility to bring her up to court, man, because that's the only thing that's gonna help you. The explanation of a no bill, right? A no bill means that they reviewed the evidence, they reviewed statements from either a victim, a parent, because you got to understand, the no bill says a child, right? So even through a child says no, the parents can say yes, right? So you have to take everything into consideration, right? A victim statement alone, either from a parent or from a child, is enough to initiate an investigation. And once that investigation is initiated, you're going to have to go through the process, right? And the process is you're going to post a bond, they're going to arraign you, you're going to take a mug shot, you're going to have to go to court hearings and prove your innocence, right? But a no bill, the state of Texas says, you know what? We're sorry. There's nothing here. And you go about your business, right? There's no manipulation of a document in the legal system, right? A no bill is exactly that. Not guilty, not a conviction, right? So no grounds. So it's basically misinterpreting a legal document. Another flaw of what you did, right? The misinterpreting of a legal document wasn't sufficient for you, that you had to go find Francisco Martinez, a known sexual convicted felon, that has to be on the registered list, right? So the manipulation of a legal document that basically said I'm an innocent man, right? That was from a peer of fellow Texans that said, hey, you know what? We have no victim statement. We have no parent statement. We have nothing other than a misunderstanding, right? And the thing is that if you wanted to know why the state of Texas gave me a no bill, you should have gone, just like when you want to know why somebody got a conviction, you go and do and read the transcripts, you read the paperwork, you find it, and then you make your own conclusion, right? So how is it that the state of Texas did their due diligence, cleared my name, right, of any kind of wrongdoing, and you went on a smear campaign, a defamation of character, right? That was your wrongdoing. Nowhere does it say conviction. It says disposition, no bill. Now, if you wanted to know what a no bill meant, you should reached out to an attorney and pay the price, man. Like, hey, can you explain to me in detail what this means and what happens? Is there the lack of investigation, lack of evidence, or what is it, right? Because here in Texas, man, a simple statement from a victim is enough to get you through the motions. Simple domestic violence, man. Here in Texas, they don't play, right? A domestic violence, a terroristic threat, you're going to jail, right? If you tell somebody, bitch, I'm gonna slap you, you're going to jail, right? You go to jail right away, right? It's terroristic threat, right? That's the power of a statement from a victim or a victim's parent or a guardian from a victim, right? It's enough to get the ball rolling, right? To where you're gonna have to go clear your name up, right? I didn't have to do any of that, man, right? No mugshot, no fingerprinting, no bond hearing, no arraignment, no none of the things that a person normally would do to clear his name, right? No court hearing, none of that, right? None of that. There's no sealed documents where I worked out a deal or I paid a civil case and I got it dismissed. No, everything's public knowledge, man, right? I have nothing to be ashamed of, right? Nothing. Now, once the defamation of character started coming around, shit, man, you know, all these scenarios that these guys were painting about me, putting pictures up there with the kid with the lollipop, you know, I can handle truth, right? I can handle truth, right? But what I can't handle is false, man. It just, and I'm just like everybody else, man. Who's gonna entertain lies? Who's gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, call me this, call me that, right? To where even if you wanted to, you're gonna hit him, put him inside. Man, you have to understand how Texas is, man. Texas doesn't play with domestic violence, and Texas doesn't play with any kind of foul charges, man. Right? They don't play. So a judge knows what a no bill is, right? Now she's also going to understand that you manipulated that no bill, right? Based off the grounds that maybe you weren't, okay, she might say, oh, maybe you're not educated. Maybe not everybody knows the law. But she's going to show the malice of you trying to use a known convicted Francisco Martino's criminal record to fit your narrative, right? You were trying to manipulate a legal document that clears me of any kind of wrongdoing to show the intent, man, the pure malice, right? So it paints a picture of dangerous behavior, right? Once he understood what a no bill was, that's when he went on to the next campaign of finding Francisco to try to be like, nah, see, this document goes with that one, right? Knowing all along that the birthdays don't match, right? Because in order for him to pull up that no bill, he has to have my birthday, right? And since he had Francisco Martinez's birthday, he knew the discrepancies not only in my features, but in the birthday, right? So he can say, hey, they passed me this paperwork, but once you checked it, you seen that I'm 81 and Francisco's 84, right? You knew that. Why? Because you were parading my no bill, right? You were parading my no bill like if it was a conviction, but instead all you were just showing an innocent man, right? Like my house. You dox me and you show my house like I'm supposed to be ashamed of my house. All you did was show a document that cleared my name by the state of Texas. I shouldn't be ashamed. I should be proud of that because that's what it is. A legal document that cleared my name of any wrongdoing. Right? If I had any kind of at fault, believe me, man, it'd have been some kind of indecency, somewhere on the lines of deviancy, right? A lesser crime, anything, right? Anything. It would not have been a no bill, right? Especially in the red state. Me being a beaner, right? I already got things going against me. And allege, right? Once they could be like, oh no, it's not what it is, right? They have to fact check, right? But that's your responsibility, man. When you decide to publish third-party information to the third party to defame someone's character, you're liable, man. I've never once said anything defaming anybody's character, man, right? I've never doxed anybody, man, right? Yeah, you could say I might know where you live at. It's public knowledge. I had you served, right? I had you served, so it's like, yeah, I know where you live at, but I'm not making it publicly, right? I'm not making any videos. I'm not making any thumbnails. Nothing, right? That shows your shitbox of a home, right? Oh, yeah. So even if he's a cop, man, you know, manipulating and using, it's like stealing staples from work, man. You know, it's like you stealing boxes on your day off. You know, you stealing boxes on your day off. Really, man? Right? Even then, all you had was a legal document clearing my name. It's not like you had a smoking gun, right? The smoking gun was never there. You don't have no smoking gun, right? So you were parading a document that you wanted me to explain to you. It's self-explanatory. No bill, no crime. But it didn't fit your narrative, right? It didn't fit the narrative that you had to go find Francisco, right? And if y'all don't believe me, y'all when y'all have time, just type in these 4 key words, and you see that it's the first case that pops up, right? Francisco Martinez, Texas, right? And put case number, right? Or any kind of keyword that would identify court document, right? The case, right? Arrest, right? And it'll populate Francisco Martinez would be the first one, right? So it's the first name that ran off, and it's the first one that fit the narrative, right? Because right now you can populate it. Maybe it'll populate because I'm in Texas and I'm in the dude's in Fort Worth, but I guess it's based off your location. But if you type in those, that's what I did. I typed in those keywords, and Francisco was the first case that populated on the search, right? And I hit it, and That's why on one he kept on saying, Adderall, Adderall. That I like taking Adderall, right? Because if you read that court document, it says something about him having a problem with Adderall, right? Adderall is for people. I have anxiety, man, right? I have anxiety. I am not, no doctor will prescribe me Adderall, right? Because basically my body produces its own Adderall, right? I'm anxiety. I'm up. I'm already anxious. I'm already ready to go. I don't need Adderall, right? If I was to take any kind of upper substance, man, I'd be like a ping pong, man, just jumping off the walls, right? I'm already, how can you say, I'm already up, man, right? I'm already up. You know, I'm already up. I don't need any kind of substances to make my heartbeat already beats at a fast rate right now, man, right? My heart beats already like if I'm doing a crime, right? I have bad anxiety, man. I've never, and I've always had a bad anxiety, right, since a young age. So I've never liked taking any kind of uppers. Anything that made me paranoid more than what I already was, I didn't deal with it, man, right? I'm trying to do stuff that's trying to keep me from being paranoid, man, right? Keep me calm, right? Downers, not no motherfucking Adderall, right? So I'm like, where the fuck is this dude getting Adderall, right? Because he even sent me comments. Yeah, you taking them Adderalls, huh? You taking them Adderalls. And I'm like, where the fuck is this dude getting Adderalls from, right? And I've never been arrested for no Adderall. I have no convictions for no Adderalls. Like, where the fuck is this dude getting Adderalls from, right? And then I read the court documents from Francisco, and it says right there, because it said him and his girlfriend were fighting, and they gave him so much time, and Adderall, and right? So everything that he was speaking facts, right? But they weren't my facts. They were Francisco Martinez's criminal record, right? It wasn't my criminal record, but he was parading it like it was me, right? Manipulating, defaming my character by using someone else's criminal record. It's not like everything was me. No, everything that he said was true, but he was basing it off Francisco Martinez, right? He knew the birthdays didn't match, right? Because in order for him to pull up the no bill in the terroristic threat, my recent arrest, that means he had to know my birthday, right? Because the no bill came before the Francisco, right? The no bill was brought, oh, we're going to drop your paperwork. We're going to drop it. And when it didn't have the effect on me, and it's like, all your parading is a legal document, man. Right? That shows innocence. But you were trying to manipulate it, right? To fit your narrative. Right? You went, somebody said, hey, this is Noel, right? But you knowing my birthday, and then you matching the birthday, you should have said, oh man, this ain't him. But no, you went all along. Right? You went all in. You went all in, man. So you can try to justify and say Susie Blow and Joe Blow told me and so. No, at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to fact check, man. Right? Just like how I fact checked. Right? And how do you say I fact checked? Well, I felt Mark Moore was doing something he was lying to the masses to. Where I found Hips, I found Brad, I found Frank Lucas. Right? People that could really tell us the true story of Mark Moore. All right. Nah, I mean, I don't like right now I'm prescribed like Seroquel. They prescribe me Seroquel, another antipsychotic, I don't like that word antipsychotic, man. Right? I asked her, I said, man, do you think I'm crazy or something? Right? I don't like that psychotic, man. Maybe I am. I don't know, right? Who knows? But the doctors, they labeled me that, right? So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I am. Because it's, if you know what it takes to get to that point, yeah, I guess you can call. I guess you can. But anybody, right? Anybody that's been able to get to that point and they know what they're capable of doing, I guess you would be psychotic, right? Because the destruction that you're capable of doing, it's not normal behavior, right? So I guess in a way, you could say Mark is psychotic, right? He went to prison for shooting somebody for gang-related gang banging. Then when during his incarceration, man, he continued to do bad things, right? Extort, sodomize, cause long-time health care issues. A lot of things that he contributed to continue being not the solution of Alabama. Mark is far from being the solution of Alabama, right? He could be, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Mark could be the solution, right? Because it takes one to know one, right? Mark can spot them dudes out, right? It's like a ex-gang member, man, or ex-junkie, or anything ex that's trying to prevent the next generation to become an ex-them, knows what to look out for, man, right? Already knows the red flags, right? Like I said, man, when you indulge with behavior like Mark Moore, you're scarring yourself for the rest of your life, man, because he even said it himself, man. The first time he slept with the boy, man, he felt disgusted. He felt dirty. He felt like he was, breaking God's law, right? So he has some kind of conscience, right? But after being in that environment, Sodom and Gomorrah, it turned him out, right? He was wild. He was, giving dudes panic attacks, walking them through it, committing crimes as far as aggravated assault, right? That's what you call aggravated assault right there. A sexual deviant, right? Right? When people were trying to paint scenarios, all aggravated, man. Noel aggravated. He must have been doing all this and tying him up and holding hostage. No, right? But what Mark Moore did to Brad Lucas is aggravated sexual assault, man. Right? Now you don't have to sit there and try to portray or paint any kind of scenario. You heard it from the horse's mouth. They put a shiv to his jugular. They put another shiv to his eyeball, right? That's aggravated assault, right? That alone is aggravated assault, right? When him and Jerry Gaskins started tag teaming him, cream pieing him, that's when the sexual assault. So now, do you see the definition of aggravated sexual assault? Not what you were trying to paint and try to put a jacket on me, right? Based off of a legal document that cleared me of any kind of heinous crime, right? Not self-admitted, right? That's what I don't understand, right? Trying to normalize the deviancy of one self-admitted man, right? Now, believe me, if you have transcripts, court hearings of victim said this, victim said that, I said this, parent said that, bring them to me, man, where we can discuss them, right? Because all this is public knowledge, man, right? If you can find the no bill, then you should be able to populate everything that's in that case number, man, right? I haven't expunged nothing. I haven't sealed anything. If I would have sealed anything, that would have been the first one, man. And you know what? I'm gonna seal it, man, because it's not a conviction. It's not a guilty plea. It's just a no bill, right? Which, as a citizen, I can apply and have that expunged, right? Just like how you had your child support expunged, right? But the difference between me and you is that you were a deadbeat dad that couldn't pay $2,700, right? And there's transcripts that show that, right? That's the difference, right? That I can call you a piece of shit for not paying $2,700, not being able to post a bond, right? Because there's court transcripts. Even through you had some of it expunged, it's still there, right? You got it expunged 2020, right? I guess when you started feeling like you were going to become a content creator, right? You went back to 2020 to expunge and try to hide that deadbeat behavior. Isn't that what you did? Because your child support is back from 2013, 2012, right? So that means that kid right now is probably 15. Probably the oldest one you have, right? So he's probably your oldest kid, your first one, right? But that's the difference, that there's black and white, right? You went off of a no bill, right? Right? I can see that you didn't post a bond. You couldn't post a bond, right? So how much was my bond? See, you see all this, you should have done the same thing too, right? Bring facts. If you bring facts, you don't take the chance of being held liable, right? Man, once homeless, as a man, doesn't even know how to fix the brakes, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, a lot of things these dudes need to be educated upon, like manly stuff, protective, provider. Like, just imagine if your kid was in that back seat and you didn't know how to stop the car, bro. Right? But you got that need for speed that you just won't let that foot off the gas, right? I done told you when you were delivering pizzas, man, you're gonna be a real life crash dummy, man. Right? Driving down them strips, 70 miles per hour, looking back and forth, sideways, not even keeping eyes on the road, and then with no brakes. Pure negligence, man. And then having your son in there, I don't know, man. Right? I don't get that, man. Right? I don't get that, right? Instead of being with your son, you were on the live arguing with the psych patient, right? Call me a psych patient, right? So who's more stupider, man? Right? I have an excuse to be crazy, man. Right? I'm a documented psych patient, right? It's nothing to be proud of, man. It's nothing to be. I guess it's like my war wounds, man. Right? You know, other people got California zippers and they're proud to show their zippers. Be like, check it out, bro. I got this shit bag. Right? Check out my shit bag. That's what putting in work in the hood gets you. A shit bag. Right? Some people are proud of their war wounds, man. Right? I'm not proud of my mental health, but I'm not ashamed of it, man. I'm just being reality, right? It's like, once you can hold yourself accountable, man, and you realize, hey, man, I am a psych patient. Maybe I am, right? Maybe well, the doctor said I am, right? And they're the ones that are, you know, trained and they're educated, and if they made that diagnosis, then I guess I am, right? But at the same time, man, I'm not that crazy stupid, right? I don't talk out my ass. I don't disrespect people. I'm not a disrespectful person. I only disrespect people that disrespect me, man. Right? And that's the difference, man. Once you want to talk about legal documents, you got to know what you're talking about, man. Because if you populate your case of child support, it tells your court hearings, bond hearings, expungement. It tells you everything about that case, right? Everything. So when I speak about it, I can, read it and populate. You should have did the same, man. The pure, you know, I've been I've been lucky, man. I've I've been shot at numerous times, man. A very close range, man. I've been robbed. I've had a pistol put a pistol to my chest, man, and that feeling of vulnerability, it sucks, man. But at the same time, I respect any man's hustle, man. Right? I respect any man's hustle, man. That if that was their hustle, and I respect it. Just let me make it, man. So it sucks, man. When people have their life, they have your life in their hands, and it's like one bad word, one cockiness, one could have ended it for me, man. But once they realize that, man, I'm a street dude and I respect the game, man. It is what it is, man. You got me, man. Just let me make it. Pleading for my life in a respectful way. You know what I mean, man? I respect the game, but you ain't got to kill me for it, bro. You know what I mean? Let me make it. And this ain't and without crying a tear, man. It's not. Don't think that I was there, crying and let me make. No, man. Just being honest with the dudes, man. Let me make it, man. It is what it is. Once they got what they want, they left. They took off running, right? And yeah, I went back looking for them, right? I went back, but I would have been a piece of shit just to unload on random people that I didn't know, right? So once I couldn't put a actual face to any of them, I let it go, man, right? I let it go. There was no point of me, yeah, I could have fucking, shot up the whole fucking, where it happened, and maybe hope one of them dudes was there, right? But at the end, I'm like, it's none of them dudes, so why am I going to unload? You know what I mean? It would have been, nah, man, the one with the dreads, that's somebody he got off the homeless. He picked him off helped him out, man. You know what I mean? Got him on I think an efficiency on top of a fucking Kung Fu Panda. I don't know, man. Them fucking New York and them fucking New Jersey apartments, they be on top of bodegas. Sometimes you go in a bodega and you can go upstairs and there's already a living quarters up there. And well, I'm just basing it off of fucking the Dave Chappelle movie, man. The Squirrel Master, Half Baked. On how the stores over there, right? Like if you watch a lot of these New York movies, they show a lot of these stores or convenience stores or whatever they are, and they have an upstairs, room for rent. But a lot of these people are not really who they say they are, man. I think the only one that is really who he is, man, is NS. And I haven't seen, I don't know if he's still around or whatnot, right? He's the, no, I don't know if he's homelessness, man, or not, right? I don't know. But that's how he met, right? That's where the loyalty began. I think he was, I might be wrong, right? I think he was homeless at one time, and I think Dante looked out for him and gave him some money to get on his feet, or find a living place. I don't know if he's homeless or was at the time, but based off the videos and stuff that I heard, and he was homeless at one time, right? And seems a lot of these people he's helped. I think I just got hit. Nah, man, what's it called? A lot of these guys that support him, at one point or another, when he was doing pretty good with the Mark content, I guess before I came along, right? But even after I came along, he was still kind of doing decent with the content. So he was able to, spread the wealth, to certain people that were gonna show him allegiance and blind loyalty. And he was in a position at one time when before I came along and started fucking up the place, he was in a position, to give people money. Well, you seen the perfect example. Let's go back to why Dirty Dreads and Mark fell out, right? Because after Dante was getting too much pressure, he sold him off to June, right? June bought him. June was supposed to manage him, but Dante was still in the back scenes, controlling everything. So when that monthly check for YouTube came, I think Dante paid June $150 or $175, and I think June kept $100, and he sent Mark $75, right? And Mark was hot, right? Mark made a video. He's like, "Oh, for $75, woo 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 woo, $75 this and woo woo woo. I don't understand why you getting some of my money, woo woo woo." That's why they fell off, right? So you can start to see that back then the money was already starting to play its role. And he came out one time. I don't know if I have the video. I need to find that video, man. When he goes, "I've been in the red all along," right? But that's when he started becoming in the red. Once I came into the picture and I inserted myself and I started, prime timing, pick sixing, that's when it started collapsing, right? And that's when, it started becoming fight or flight with them. And he went heads, he went torpedo mode, kamikaze, right? With the defamation of my character, right? He went all in. He went all in. Instead of fact checking, he went all in, man, right? Because I was messing with the golden goose, right? He seen the possibility, and right now he feels attainable, man. Like, man, if I get this Mexican out the way, woo woo woo, I can get Mark, I can get Fleece to be the next Fleece. Nah, man, this society, we already have one Fleece. That's enough for the society, man. Wait till we all pass away and let another few decades pass by and let another monster make it, right? If they make it, right? But having two monsters of that status on social media, come on, man, right? We need society to be uplifted. We need morals, integrity, beliefs to be back implemented. No more of these guys that are glorifying prison rape, right? If you watch this guy, if you watch his content, it's about homosexuality. Somebody being dominated by another man. It's almost like subliminal messages, man. Like, come and take me, right? Like, it's like the people that gravitate to Mark, I feel like they want to be Mark. They want to be an apex predator, or they just have that fetish of being the victim, right? There's no other reason why anybody would want to associate themselves or align with a character like Mark Moore, other than you believe in what he believes in, right? I don't care if me and you like the same sporting team. That ain't enough for me to go along with Mark, right? Right. For me to agree and stand behind him just because we have some common similarities, right? He might like the same Coke I like, or he might like to go eat the same dinner I like, right? That's not going to put the blinders on me and ignore his true deviancy nature, right? If I don't agree with it, I'm not going to align myself with them, right? $300 a month is more than what I'm currently making on YouTube, right? I'm making a dollar every day, man. All right. I'll show you later on. I guess when I have time, man, I'll take a screenshot of my revenue and I'll post it, and you can see that it's barely at the $6 mark. Right? At the $6 mark. Right. When I got offered $300, man, to lower my morals, to lower my beliefs, to become a degenerate, over $300. And right now, shit, I'm making $6, you know, I'll probably make 100, you know, as I'm going right now, I'll probably make another 100 in the next 6 months, right? As I make $1 every day. So if I make $1 every day, it's 100 days, 30, 60, 90. We're looking at 90 something days, right? If I make $1 a day off of YouTube, so for me to reach out the maximum payout of $100, it's about 90 days, man. 90 days is what, 3 months? So to make $100, that's even if I make it, right? Because I might not do no videos, right? So that $1 a day might not even be made. So I'm not gonna lower my standards or become a degenerate for a few $100s, man. Not even 1,000. Because I don't do it for the money, man. I do it for the exposing, right? People wanted to so-called expose me. They didn't expose nothing, right? Nothing. What did they expose? They paraded legal documents that says not guilty, right? His only other assumption is that I have a kid with a minor, right? That's why I have a no bill, right? He thinks that I was granted a no bill on the technicality that I have a kid with a minor, right? That's his play, right? But like I said, he needs to bring Sabrina, right? That's the alleged smoking gun, because my baby mamas, well, the both I got, were of age, right? Were of age when I had my kids with them, right? So that's the only thing I think that's the only thing he thinks he has, right? That I must have gotten a no bill. The no bill was granted to me on the grounds of having a kid with a minor. And maybe the parents didn't want to press charges on me since, hey, I am the son-in-law, right? Is that what you think? Is that right? That I got granted a no bill on the technicality of having a kid with a minor. And they said, oh man, that's gonna be our grandchild. We can't arrest him, right? Is that what happened? Whether you're so confident, right? Because you spoke to Sabrina. You spoke to Sabrina, man. And she told you all this, right? This is Sabrina's the allegedly minor. Baby mama. So you have the smoking gun. Damn, man, I got my case. I ain't gonna win my case, man. All right. So, if you want to win your case, bring Sabrina. That's the only way you're going to win your case, right? Since you're confident, right? Is that why you feel I was granted a no bill? Go read the no bill. Maybe it says it in there, man. Why, right? Is that why? Maybe you'll win. Y'all have a good one, man. I'll be back later, man. My phone's about to die. It's at 3%, and I'll be back here later, man. I just want to dissect all these false statements, and I'll probably go back and watch some of the Dante Einstein deleted field, the files, right? The Donstein files. the lost long files, right? That defamation of character is a mother, and I want you to tip your hat. Tip that hat, okay? Adjust it, tip it. Somebody in the comments said, when you dress like that, you know it's gonna come back and haunt you. When you dress like that and you try to belittle narcissists, make it seem like you got a $10,000 backyard squirrel jacket, you got cosmetic jewelry, right? You playing role play, right? You want to be a Detroit stomp down. You want to be a criminal so bad, man, and I want to be a square so bad, right? I want to be a contributing member of my society, and you want to be a criminal so bad, right? That tells me you've never been a criminal because you still have the urge of breaking the law, right? I don't want to break the law no more, man. I want to be a square, right? I want to talk about square stuff. You want to glorify and idolize prison rape, right? You want to be a prison so bad. You want to be the one telling people to fill it up so bad. But not knowing that you'd be the one being bent over. I guarantee you that. Because you don't have the eye of the tiger. You got that little stanky eye that blinks. It's gonna wink at somebody. And somebody like Mark Moore's gonna come pucker up and give that little stanky eye a good old tongue kiss. All right? The same guys you're trying to normalize their deviancy would be the same ones bending you over. But have a good one.